Good evening, my loves. Welcome to Friday night's late night live session, which is our weekly Q&A. I have really been looking forward to tonight because I got some serious situations. So I'm going to let you know ahead of time. Let me give the disclaimer that tonight's Q&A might be a little bit heavier than it normally is. And I just want you all to know, when you send in your questions and your situations, your relationship scenarios, I definitely go before God. I pray before I give any advice or recommendations. And I don't take it lightly that you're asking my opinion for my guidance. So, with that disclaimer in mind, I have to let you know that I'm giving this advice and this guidance with limited details. These are very short questions, so there could be some details that actually would influence my answer. So, I'm going to give general answers, and I just encourage you, if you have something specific you are working on, please, reach out to me, either book a guidance session, send me a DM, let's get the conversation going. Okay. So remember, I'm a relationship girl. So I definitely want commitment. If you are here and you benefit from any of the information I share, if you have a good time, share the love. Make sure that you are subscribed on the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the like button and you share the live with your friends and anyone else that could benefit from this information. All right, let me see, because I have a few people that are already checking in. Good evening and hello, my goddess sister Pamela. Thank you so much for being here, always making time to support. So let's go ahead and, hey Pamela, let's go ahead and get into the questions. So the first question. How do you know when your marriage has reached to the end? First, let me just say, no one marries with the intention of divorce. I think everyone has full intentions that they will stand the test of time. They will, die with these mates. They will never divorce. So I don't say this lightly at all. But being as a person who has went through a marriage and currently finalizing a divorce, I would say that there are certain marriages that probably should have never happened. So let's just put that out there. A lot of the times we have ignored red flags, ignored signs, because we liked, certain things, because we were attracted, because we had fun, because of certain benefits. So I would say, if you are in a marriage and you are getting those feelings like this is not right, there's a couple of things that you should do. I think you will never be hurt from working on yourself. So that's the first thing you should do. Everything that you want from your partner, give it. Give it. If you want more attention, give more attention. If you want them to be more affectionate, be more affectionate. If you want them to be more understanding, you try being more understanding. Whatever it is that you are looking for from your spouse, try to be that. Also, if there are any insecurities that you may be having, even if you believe they are caused by the other person, you should work on those insecurities. So if you're not feeling, you're in the best shape or the best look, work out. If you're not feeling just, your wardrobe or anything like that, update it. Put more effort into how you look. If you feel a way about your home, improve that. Everything that maybe feels off or you want improved, do it yourself. Now, if you do it yourself and this doesn't inspire anything in your spouse doesn't ask you about it, they don't notice anything. And I'm not talking about like the first time you do it. I'm talking about consistently work on this. Take some time. If they don't notice, if there's no inspired change in them, then you would go to the next phase, which is being direct and talking about your concerns, right? Let them know how you're feeling. Let them know what you're contemplating. You don't have to necessarily say divorce, but you can say, hey, I'm not feeling connected to you. I feel like we're roommates. I don't feel like your wife. I feel like a person that shares a space with you. I don't feel like your husband. I feel like just a paycheck. Whatever it is, now is the time where you address that with them. You have the conversation, and you be as direct as possible, like about the areas that you desire change in. But also give them the opportunity to tell you how things are going, because you might find out they're in the same space. If you've done all of that and there is still no change, you've given it enough time. If you believe in therapy or relationship coaching, I recommend that you do that. Go to a neutral party that is not going to pick a side. They are going to listen, and they will also teach you all better listening skills, better communication skills, and maybe be the buffer to be able to explain certain things to each of you. Now, if you've done that, still nothing changes. As long as there's like no abuse or anything where you need to leave right away, I would say if this is just you're feeling like, we're not aligned, we don't want the same things, we're not romantically involved. If you're feeling things like that, I would say, that you've reached the end when it's dead. What makes a thing dead? It's not living. It's not growing. You're not advancing personally or as a couple. You're not walking together in alignment. You don't want the same things. And neither one of you are willing to put in the work to make the change. That is when I would say you've reached the end of that marriage. Just sending some loving energy to you. It was brave of you to even ask. The fact that you're asking this, I can only assume that you're feeling some feelings like this. So I would recommend doing those things. And I'm here. You're a part of my love attraction community. I care about all of you. Feel free to send me a more detailed email, and we can take it from there to see if I can support you further. All right. The next question, it seems to be kind of similar. When do you stop trying to revive a dead relationship? My initial response is don't let your relationship die. Don't let it get to the point that you're having to revive it, because usually once it's at that point, it's too late. There's been too much hurt. There's unwillingness on both parts to do the work necessary to actually move forward in a healthy way that is healthy for everyone. So, yeah. I think you have to listen to your gut, your intuition, your instincts. If it's been a makeup to breakup situation, I don't really support those at all. Let me see, I have a comment coming in. Great ideas for taking accountability. Thanks, honey. That we're big on that in the love attraction community. Everything starts with you, and you have control. You are always in control. You can't control others, but you can control yourself. You can control what you do, how you react. So that's what we tend to focus on here. But yeah, if it's a makeup to breakup situation, one time, that's it. And I don't even really believe in that. But if you feel like it's dead, the only way I would say to even try to stick around in situations like that is if you're experiencing like something traumatic that is outside of the relationship that may be impacting it, where one of you might need help. you've had like a death in the family, loss of a job, loss of income, financial strain, things like that are like outside influences that can impact inside. If anything like that is going on, I would say seek help. Talk to another couple that you respect, that supports your union, and try to get advice there, or get a neutral third party coaching. But if it's not that and you're just not aligned, you're not getting along, you said relationship, so it's not a marriage. I don't think you should be working that hard on relationships. Like, a marriage is different. You all have made a vow and commitment to each other that you're going to work through everything. So that requires a different level of work. But in relationship, you shouldn't even be in one if you're not in alignment. So if things are dead, you're not moving together, like, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. There's someone out there that you won't have to do that with. And what we believe in the love attraction community, you're going to work on yourself. You're going to get a crystal clear vision of the type of person and relationship you want. You are going to attract that. So you don't have to shapeshift. You don't have to shapeshift, and you don't have to make someone else be something that they're not. So I don't want you all reviving dead relationships. If you let it die, chances are you didn't have the alignment anyway. You wouldn't let it die. So let's move on to the next one. These were some doozies. All right. I've been asking God for direction in my relationship. Y'all are not playing this week. And I have come to the realization that my relationship is out of alignment. So I know you listen to me. What are some immediate actions I can take to get us back on track? You got to talk to your partner. You have to see if they have the desire to still be in the relationship, because sometimes people grow apart in a way that they will never grow back together. So I would talk to your partner, ask if they have the same feeling about the relationship, or do they think the relationship is fine? Either way, it's a problem because you're not in alignment. But see where they are. Do they still have the desire to work on the relationship? Do they still have the desire to be with you? Have that tough conversation first. And if there's still a desire to be in the relationship, then I say that's when you have to get real and have part two's conversation of, what do you think we should do? What are you missing? Okay, here's what I'm missing. It all starts with a conversation and self-assessment, right? We're all about accountability. So look at yourself first. How did you get out of alignment? Were you neglectful? Were you selfish, only paying attention to yourself and, forgetting your role in the relationship and supporting your partner? And then they in turn started doing it back to you. You got to look at all that stuff. Look at all of that. But I would say start with a conversation. If you both have the desire to work on it, dates, and have some ground rules for the dates. Hey, every date we're going to dress up. Every date is going to be no phone, no interruptions. And we'll alternate picking and do different things. So maybe you can reconnect. That's helpful. So have the conversation. If you're in alignment in the fact that you want to continue in the relationship, I would say, figure out what it is you actually want and then start dating and really put the concentrated effort into these dates being love deposits into your bank, your love bank. spending time with each other. Don't discuss any of the problems. Your goal should be to reconnect. So, relearning your partner, reconnecting, having romance. That should be the goals of the dates. And give yourself a time frame. Like, hey, we're going to date once a week for 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, we're going to do a check-in. Are we feeling more aligned? Are we feeling closer? Are we feeling back in love? Or are we still feeling disconnected and have to think about what is next? So that's my recommendation for that. And let's see. Interesting. Okay. I have a hard time setting boundaries with family members. Now it's to the point where they are always asking, and I feel like I'm being used. Help. So I'm going to assume this is financial assistance. If I'm wrong, write me back. The beauty of questions like this is you have it to give, right? So we always want to be thankful for the position we're in when we are the lender, the giver, right? It's a blessing to be able to do that. So first, we want to give thanks for that. Then I want to tell you a quote that sticks with me and I refer back to it often. If you are a giver, you have to learn when to stop giving because takers never stop taking. Now, that's not to, put down anyone in your family or, anything like that. It's a general statement, but it really applies, right? Someone who takes, they're not necessarily blessed to have an abundance to give. They're always looking for ways to take, and they're not going to say, hey, don't give me that much. Hey, don't give me again. Hey, stop giving. You're giving too much. They're never going to say that. So you have to learn how to stop, put up boundaries. Something that I've, adopted myself in regards to giving. I only give what I don't need. I give from my overflow. I give from my abundance, from my surplus. So if it's the money to pay my mortgage, I'm not loaning that to anyone because that's my responsibility. And I don't want to be in situations where I could potentially not talk to a person over money, right? Money is a beautiful thing. It's energy. It's here for the giving and the abundance and overflow. So I'm a good steward. I have my responsibilities and I make sure that they're taken care of. And I give out of what I'm okay with never getting back. Even if a person tells me they will give it back, I only give out what I'm okay with never getting back. And that will give you a sense of freedom. But to address the second part, you feel like you're being used. You don't want that. You don't want to be used. So I would say maybe limit the opportunities where you could be put in positions like that. So like, let's just say, for instance, whenever you guys go out to eat, everyone's always looking to you for the check. You could either say up front, oh, is everybody paying for themselves this time? That's a simple question to ask. You could ask that up front. Or you could just limit the amount of times you're doing that. You are going to have to learn how. You have to. Because if this is your family, I assume you love them very much and you want to help whenever you can, and that's a beautiful thing. But you don't want to be at odds with people about money. It's not worth it. There's always more. So try to keep it lighthearted. Again, it's a blessing that you're blessed to give and you have, the resources to do so, but that doesn't make you responsible for other people. Um, so find a way, limit time, be able to speak up for yourself. Start there, but keep being thankful and don't let that stop you from being a giver. I see a comment came in. Excellent job as always. Thank you so much, Pamela. So that's it for the questions that I got. Remember that you don't have to wait until Friday to submit the questions. I basically have a system where I compile everything from the week and put it all together. And I answer usually anywhere from 4 to 5 questions every Friday. So remember, every Monday is Deanna's Coaching Gem. That is my topic-based lesson. I will announce what it is within the Love Attraction community, as well as the live will be scheduled and you'll see the topic usually on Sunday or Monday for Monday. And then on Friday, it's always the weekly Q&A. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Remember to share these lives and subscribe to the channel. God is love. We are of God. So attracting love should be easy, especially when you have me as your guide. I love you all. Have a good night. Great weekend.